Welcome back to BVarsity Live. Zach Ewing, Trevor Horn. I'm putting my ears in so we can hear on the phone here Casey Taylor of Del Oro and Matt Logue of Selma coming up on the air.
Yeah, so it'll be a good time. Casey, hey, it's Trevor. Thanks for joining us. How are you today, bud?
Hey, good, Trevor. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no worries. You guys are obviously having a Saturday game is a little bit different. We just had Paul Gola in studio, and he says, he feels a little weird because it's his Wednesday, even though it's Thursday. What's your mindset going into Saturday's game against the Drillers?
Well, we kind of feel the same way. It's nice having that extra day. Obviously, they're a great football team. Having experience playing them in the state, where we got overwhelmed by them, and they had that tremendous quarterback, Sonny Rufus, and their defense is outstanding, and the program did a great job, and so we got a lot of respect from where that is. But we're really looking forward to the matchup. We're very excited to be home. We were down there versus Liberty last year, and traveling's tough to do. So we're excited to have a whole town here on Saturday night and playing a great Bakersfield team. And obviously, Paul does a great job with his guys. They're tough to prepare for with the offense they run and the defense they run. They really make late nights for us coaches. But like I said, we have an extra day, which is nice. Hopefully have a good practice today in the rain and get a little closer and working our way till Saturday to have hopefully a great game on Saturday night.
Coach, Zach Ewing here, and congratulations on the season again. Down here, fans obviously know Bakersfield High and the brand that they have and the history they have, and of course the unique offense and defense that you mentioned add to that. But you guys have accomplished so much up there as well at Del Oro, being in regional game after regional game, winning section title after section title, it seems like, over the last 5 to 10 years. What are you most proud of as you look back on how you've built up that program and the success you guys have had?
We've had a great run, obviously. We really don't get too caught up in a lot of our accomplishments. We got a great 22 seniors that are, this year that are just great kids. A lot of them started last year on our state team that put a great run together. We were 2-6 at one time and found a way to get in the playoffs, and then to win the NorCal down there against Liberty, and then with beat Camarillo for the state title was a real special thing. And then to come back with all that experience and just trying to work our way back to that situation. It's been just a great ride, a long ride, but our kids have done a great job, great leaders on and off the field. They've really demonstrated, what we want done. They're really smart in the classroom. They're very active. They're just great kids, fun to be around. We're really enjoying the year. We don't want it to end. We were fortunate to win last week, to win back-to-back section titles, and we're on a good run here. But again, we don't want it to end, and we're hoping we can put together a great 48 minutes against Bakersfield, but we're going to have our work cut out for us. But, we feel we're going to be ready for it. We want to play well and, see where we're at.
Casey, you've played at Division II most of the time you've been there. Obviously, you had, I think, a 3-year period where you were Division III in the Sac Joaquin section. Moving up to Division I, does it even change what you guys do up there, or are you just moving along and saying, this is just another chance for us to win another state title?
Yeah, it is what it is division-wise. It's very confusing from year to year, it seems like. But Del Oro's a school. We got about 1,700 kids here. We play a lot of tough teams in the non-league. Play a lot of teams from around the Western region, and so we play big teams. When you get to this level and you get to the state level, it doesn't matter. Really how many kids there are, or if it's private or a charter school. You're going to be playing the best. So we try not to get too caught up on the division. We try to get caught up in what we can control. And what we can control is playing Saturday night here versus Bakersfield, and they might their school of 3,000, but we like that. We like being the underdog and being the smaller school, and like I said, the whole town will be here, and hopefully we can keep playing like we've been playing and get that game in the fourth quarter with a chance to win.
Obviously, I think Paul Gola talks about how you guys were such a kind of an I formation power offense 3 years ago when they beat you guys. But, you bring in Stone Smart, your senior quarterback, who's big and strong and fast. Talk about Stone for just a little bit and kind of what the dimensions that he brings that makes this team so much different. Obviously, something that Kern County fans saw last year when you guys beat Liberty.
Yeah, he's a special player. We were under center kind of I-back team, and it's kind of because of his athleticism, we've kind of put him in the pistol a little bit. We're still downhill and, still want to run the ball and got to control it up front. But he's brought a great aspect with him running the ball, reading a little bit. And obviously when he gets out of the pocket and uses his speed, he's really good. He's got a We got a bunch of good receivers. We have guys he can get the ball to. But I think just the dual threat of him running, passing, and getting us in good plays has really opened up our offense and really given us some opportunities to make big plays.
And that's not taking anything away from Michael Moore, who was your quarterback in 2013. Casey, I still think one of the best clutch performances I've ever seen is when you guys beat Elk Grove and Michael threw for, 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter in the driving rain that night at Sac State to win the section title?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think every year it changes. The game's changing. Teams you're playing, teams you're facing, things that are happening. We're, there's a while there where we got a lot of linebacker and tight end, fullback type of guys, and we're getting a little different types of kids these days. And, I think you kind of adapt to the talent you're given. We are a public school, so we can't, we're not college where we're out recruiting. So you kind of get what you got, and you try to get them in the best situation to be successful. And I feel we've done a real good job of that throughout the years, offense and defense, of getting, our guys in the right places, or at least getting them to the spots where they can have the most success with their abilities.
Casey, when you look at this Bakersfield team, and you mentioned sort of that offense and defense that can give a team challenges, especially if you haven't seen it before. You did see it 3 years ago, but they pass the ball more now this year than they really ever have if you look at the numbers. And they use a couple of different quarterbacks. What do you see specifically from that offense that you think can challenge you guys?
Well, challenge in a lot of facets, but they got a lot of team speed. They're very fast. We're real, obviously concerned about getting in space, and we're gonna have to tackle really well. And they force you to play assignment football. We feel playing them the first time, we learned a lot by playing them, and some of the things that maybe we didn't really, didn't have a good feel for the first time. We feel we've a little more adapted to that and kind of understand a little bit more what they're trying to do to us. But again, like I said, throwing the ball, they've thrown the ball pretty successfully this year, and they've used a lot of different quarterbacks. We just really hope that we can line up correctly and, really get our good keys on them. But, I think for us, it's really going to come down to, being very disciplined and, the dive guys taking the dive guys, quarterback taking the quarterback, pitch man, and really rallying and tackling. We got to tackle really, really well. And we know they're going to have some plays and make some big plays, but, we hope we can limit them to, good gains and not necessarily long touchdowns, where I feel like when we played them last time, Rufus and a few of those guys made just a lot of really big plays. And, we really didn't play well special teams against them either. We had a big breakdown. They had a big punt, and we didn't do a good job covering on one. And, so we got to do a better job on special teams. And, we've been taking care of the football offense, and we got to continue to do that. But defensively, like I said, we got to play, lights out on Saturday, and hopefully we can create some turnovers. And I think tackling is going to be key for us.
Well, Casey Taylor of Del Oro, 148 wins in 15 years. Real similar numbers to Paul Gola at Bakersfield, actually, and so just a couple of fewer years for Paul. But obviously, two very successful programs. Should be a great game Saturday, and we thanks you so much for joining us, Casey.
Thanks, Casey. See you on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We look forward to seeing you, Trevor.
Yeah, you too, bud.
All right, so we'll say goodbye to Casey Taylor of Del Oro, and in just a minute we'll bring on Selma coach Matt Logue to talk about the Friday night game.
We ran a little short. My last question I was going to have for Casey was 2 weeks ago when they were in the semifinals of Sac Joaquin section. They were lining up for a 2-point conversion and kind of a rout over Antelope. And I don't know if you guys saw this on Monday Night Football or the YouTube clips. Got like 350,000. They did the mannequin challenge on the field.
Oh, that was them?
That was them.
I didn't even realize.
That was Del Oro, yeah. So
that's
they
awesome.
ran the mannequin challenge, and then they went into a different formation, and then ran the 2-point conversion in that play. And it's, I think Casey will be the first guy to tell you that, in a long stretch like this, you gotta let guys have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I guess you just don't know what you're going to get from either side in that game. Another reason why it's going to be such a fun game Saturday.
Totally.
But Friday night's game, Bakersfield Christian and Selma. We now welcome in Selma coach Matt Logue. Coach, thank you so much for joining us here on BVarsity Live.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
And your team obviously enjoying a terrific season, 13-0. And as we mentioned earlier, just there haven't even been that many challenges in fourth quarters for you guys. It's been a lot of easy wins for you. And I don't mean to say that they're easy, but they from our perspective they look easy. What has worked so well for the Bears this year?
Well, I mean, obviously our defense has played tremendous all year. We've given up not a lot of points, and then offensively we're very balanced. We can run the ball. Our quarterback's a dual threat, and we have some receivers that are talented as well. And so, there's been games where people have kind of really tried to stop the run, and we've been able to throw. And if we are able to run, then it opens up some play action too, and that type of stuff. So, it's just been both sides of the ball have played really well, and we've just been a pretty balanced team all year.
Yeah, I think obviously balance is what I see when I look at it, both on offense with running game, passing game, and then also with defense and special teams playing really well. I did want to address one rumor I'd heard, Coach. Is it true that you keep snacks in your beard for the third quarter when you get hungry?
No, that is
just for the record, that's not true. Okay, I just want to make sure we're denying that. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We had Darren Carr in a minute, and he's actually trimmed his beard back a little bit, and so he's basically forfeiting the battle of the beards to you guys. But last year it would have been pretty good. Anyway, when you look at Bakersfield Christian, obviously they've got some athletes and things like that too, and their aerial attack is one of the best in the section. What do you see when you look at BCHS on film?
I mean, exactly that what you just said. I mean, they're very good at what they do. They throw the ball really well. Good receivers. Foster's obviously, really, really good. But they have other guys too that are fast, and they all run really good routes. Their line does a great job in pass protection, and the quarterback obviously has done what he's done for a reason. He's got a great arm, and he's really good. And defensively, again, a lot of those guys. Foster plays both ways. Number one plays both ways. They got a lot of those same guys with a lot of speed playing defense too. So I think it's people I've talked to, everyone's kind of back and forth on two Central teams playing, and I think the one thing is that nobody's debating whether this is going to be a really good matchup and an exciting, fun game to see, because I think both teams match up really well.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, Matt, this is Trevor. I think the biggest thing for you is you look at the Selma program where, not even a decade ago, you guys were the program was on a 34-game losing streak, which is still tied for the longest losing streak in Central Section history. You grew up playing small school football at Bear River. You're now coaching small school football at Selma. How do the two teams differ, and how much fun has it been for you to see the town rally around you guys this year?
How did the Bear River and Selma differ, or?
Well, yeah, when you look at it, I mean, it was small school football up at Bear River for the most part, just kind of like how it is at Selma. Is that the same to you, or is it different? Bear River is a lot smaller now. It was when I played, we were playing with the big boys, with the Granite Bays and the Del Oros and all them. But the community, I get what I understand what you're saying about the community, kind of one town, one football team type thing. And yeah, I mean it's been super exciting. Obviously, it always was up there playing, and coming to Selma, I compare it a lot to Sanger in a way. I mean, obviously, it's not as big yet, but the way the community has kind of rallied behind the team, and over the last 2 years, the turnouts for the crowds and the excitement at the games has just been it's been awesome to see everyone come out and rally around this group of kids who's put a ton of work and time and effort into trying to turn this thing around. Right, and the coach you're going to go up against tomorrow night, Darren Carr. We had him on set here with Paul Gola, who was a guy that he coached for 7 years on the D-line, and talked about a lot of what he knows and what he does as a coach is predicated off what he learned from Gola. Do you feel the same way from Chuck Sheeden up at Sanger in your 8 years up there as an assistant?
Well, I mean, my dad was a coach too, and
yeah.
I definitely learned a lot from Sheedan and my dad as well, and kind of I really, when I explain it, I kind of tell people I've kind of taking the two of them because they're kind of very different, but both obviously great coaches. Both have over 200 wins, and I've tried to kind of mold myself after both of them. And there's always coaches along the way. Playing in college and stuff, that there's certain things you take from each different coach that you had, and sometimes you learn some things that you don't want to do that coaches did. And it's just been kind of a mold of all those guys, and and obviously a lot of the traditions and the things that Sanger, because they've been so good for so long, and again, it being kind of a similar type community type based team, it's there's a lot of things that I've taken from there that have really helped, I think, get the kids and community to buy in, here in Selma, and really, bring the support up.
Matt, you talked about two Central Section teams meeting up and some mixed feelings about that. I think that kind of brings into contrast a point that Darren talked about with BCHS. In the Central Section, and it may be different a little bit in other sections, but especially in the Central Section, I think winning the Valley title has always been such a goal and such a pinnacle for everybody. That's the peak of what you can do. And for so many years, that was as far as you could go. Now that you guys have accomplished that, and the first one in school history, in the school's history since 1980, and BCHS, it was the first time for most of those kids on that team. And Darren said they had a little bit of trouble getting 15 and 16-year-old kids to say, you know what, that was great, we accomplished that, but we have to focus on this team or we're going to get beat this weekend. Did you have some of those struggles too with your kids to say, hey, that's great, but we got a good team coming in here on Friday too?
No, our kids were, I think, our kids are really excited about it. I think part of it is because, we're Division 4 and they're Division 3, so our kids have that extra little, hey, if we go beat them, then it's like we're Division 3 champs too, So I think they have a little bit of that. But I definitely feel myself and the players have kind of felt like a little bit of a pressure or weight lifted off of us, because, like you said, the Valley title is what we want first, and foremost. And all this stuff is great, and we're very, we're enjoying the experience. But, it's just a lot more, I just feel like we're a lot more loose, but not in a bad way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Matt Logue of Selma High School, we thank you so much for joining us. And, hey, good luck tomorrow night. We'll see you guys in Bakersfield Christian at 7:30 tomorrow.
Matt, I'm excited about seeing your dad again tomorrow night.
All right, I'll tell him you're ready to see him.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. That's Coach Matt Logue of Selma High School. This is BVarsity Live. We're going to take one more break. We'll be back, and we'll give you our predictions for the two big games this weekend right after this.
We're Kern County.